Welcome back, everybody. It is Hump Day Wednesday, which means it's time for Boob Tube. And of course, it's not the wonderful Boob Tube if I don't have my co-host with me, Casey Carter and Desiree. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi.
So, what you guys missed is, first of all, we were in the green room, as we call it, even though it's virtual. It's not really a green room, but we were back there ventilating.
Ventilating.
Not percolating,
Ventilating.
ventilating, because I don't know if there's like a star in the sky or a moon or what the hell is going on, but today was a doozy. Hey, Zany. It was a doozy. If you two had a freaking crazy day today, let us know in the comments because I know I did.
Yeah, Kari wins the award today for the crazy day. I mean, mine, as I was telling to the ladies, mine was crazy, and folks came this close to the smoke, but I left the office still happy, not stressed out about the crazy day. So that's a win. That's a win, and I'm taking it.
That's a wiener.
That's a wiener.
That's a
A
wiener. What about you,
big
Desiree? What was
fat
going on with you that
wiener.
made things like, you know?
I think it's when people like volunteer you without asking you. That's like my biggest. Yeah, I was like, pump the brakes on that one.
Yeah.
Is that how they do it on TikTok?
Yeah,
The T?
there you go.
Oh, no, they do it like this.
Oh,
The T.
What is that?
I don't know, but I like
Whenever
it.
they're like clocking the T. I don't really understand it, but I see it all the time. So
Okay. But yeah,
I'm like,
so
forget
that
it.
was my
It's
day.
funny that you mentioned the tea. Why did I get a call? So one of my vendors, she and I, very early in our relationship, became kind of really good friends. Bestie,
Mm-hmm.
she even labeled me, but we're definitely really good
Aw.
friends. And she calls me at
Mhm.
like 8 this morning, 5 after 8, and I'm still getting ready for work. And she's like, "Okay, so to continue our conversation from yesterday, I was calling to give you the tea." I'm like, "Oh my god, it's 8 o'clock in the morning." Okay, I'm here for it. So tea is good all times
So
of the
she
day
spilled
and
the
night.
tea.
I'm just saying,
She gave
and
me the tea.
it was pretty good
She
tea.
spilled the
It was
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
spilled
I
the
good.
tea.
love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got some tea.
Mm.
Would you like to hear the tea?
Tell
Clocking
us.
the tea.
I was gonna say the. Did
So
you
I
say
was
the tea?
given, yeah, well, it's not really tea. It's kind of like something fun and exciting for our viewers.
Ooh.
Hey, Alex. Welcome. It's always good to see you. So I was given permission by the boss to give away 2 tickets to Chicago Exotica, which is next week. All
Mm.
you have to do is follow Exotica on social media, comment #BoobTube.
Gotta get that in there.
Gotta
Just
get
do it.
BoobTube in there.
Do
And
it.
tell us what your favorite TV show or movie is in 2025. And we are going to pick a winner. And although we probably won't be live next week, are we going live next week?
I'd probably be pushing my luck because I have a 7:30 flight
So,
on Thursday. So
I have a
probably
6 o'clock flight. So yeah, we probably won't go live next week. Well, we'll just say we won't. But we'll announce the winner on social media and you will get 2 tickets to go one of the days to Exotica, whether it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
go Friday.
So, yeah, go Friday.
Friday.
And if you go Friday, you can bring if you're a man, you can bring a lady friend and
For
she gets in free, which means you get to bring a male friend, or you can bring lots of lady friends and a male friend. See?
It
Or if
works.
you're a lady, you know what I'm saying? You can come
Friday.
Saturday, you can come
And
Friday and see what I'm saying? Like,
and so here's what I like about Friday in Chicago. It is insane. It's insane. There's a moment where you can see cross the room, and then there's a moment you can't see past your table. I
You
love
can't
that.
see past your titties.
Well, I can't see past my titties no matter what. So
Right. I was gonna say, yeah, probably for you.
it doesn't matter what day it is. It's just not happening. But no, in all seriousness, and I'm Kari can attest to this as well. There are some moments on a Friday where there's the edge of the table and a sea of people. Just a sea of people. You
It's
can't
so bad
see
that they
to
push
the
your
other side.
table and things are shaking, and it's like it gets chaotic
Hmm.
is the best way to describe it. It gets so busy that you're like, it's crazy. So
Yeah, yeah, it
I can't
is.
wait.
It is.
I can't wait.
Okay, wait. We got K Smitty saying Chicago. I can't wait. Is that to say, Smitty, that you're going to be at Exotica Chicago? Because if you are, Kari and I expect to see you. I'm just
We
saying
want you to come to our booths and say what's up. I'm K Smitty Productions in
that
the
part.
house.
That part. So
Yep.
just saying. I'm just saying. And let me tell you, Kari and I, this is no lie. We get such a kick out of people coming up and telling us they love BoobTube, telling us that they watch BoobTube. It is it's I don't know. I can't speak for Kari, even though I did just speak for Kari.
You are accurate. You are accurate. I
But
give you
it
permission to
There
speak
we
on my
go.
behalf.
Okay, because I'm like,
Yeah.
it just brings me such giggles. It really does, and I know that
Me
seems
too.
silly because this is, it's just a little YouTube thing, but a whole lot of little YouTube things tend to blow up and be a big thing. So it's always nice to have you all come to the show and say, hey, I watch BoobTube. I love that, especially
Beyond that, for me, is like it lets us know that we're not just like talking to the void. I mean, I know that the numbers on the thing, like it tells us right now there's 563 people watching, but we can't see you. And
right.
that's why we encourage you guys to comment, because your comments let us know, like, one, we're engaging with you in real time. So that's always awesome. But it lets us know, like, there's real people out there watching us and entertained by what we're talking about, and we love when you guys engage with us because it's just it's invigorating. We're not here just to listen to ourselves talk. We're literally here because we want to talk to you.
Because trust, we talk
So
to each other in the green room. We definitely do that.
we might have to start doing the green room at like 8 o'clock to give us enough time to like ventilate.
Or well, 8:30. Because I mean, when you think about it, Kari, you often will jump on around 8:45 ish,
Mhm.
and most times we get Des just 5 minutes before 9. So even 8:30 would
Mm-hmm.
give us.
Or 8:59. She's like she just pops up and we're like, "Hey, we weren't sure if you
Happy
were
to
coming
have
or
you.
not."
I'm here.
but
I'm here
but
for it though.
Desi
At
shows
least,
up, so that's all that
yeah,
matters. Desi shows
I'm
up.
She
here.
sure does. She's like the genie. She just like we need to get her. We need to get the little sound effect and the little like a visual video that's like a when she comes in. So I don't know if you guys are on Discord, but when you go on Discord, they have like an audio that'll play. You can set it up so that when you go in, it plays this sound effect.
Mm.
And so on my Discord, when I go into the room, it goes yeah, boy. Dun, 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 dun. And I sometimes I'll leave and come back just so I can hear the song again.
Yeah.
Because it's like a really exciting way to enter a room that, a lot of times instead of being like, knock, knock, you just come in there and they're like, oh, there's Kari. Kari just entered the space. So we could put it so that Desiree comes in and it's like with the smoke. And then she's like, ding, 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 ding. What
We'll
would
figure
yours
it
be,
out. We'll figure it
Casey?
out.
What would yours be? What would your sound effect and your imagery look like as you enter in if you could choose anything?
Oh, was that question for me?
Yeah.
Oh, ooh. Um, I don't know what the imagery would be, but and I'm hoping that I won't get in trouble for this. Hold on. I will I'm gonna play for
Just
you.
play it real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna play for you what it would be.
So elaborate.
Okay.
Okay.
Classic
Okay.
bougie ratchet.
Mine would be a red carpet. Like I would want like a little red carpet to roll out
Okay.
and like a crown on my head and a scepter. And then it would be "Who runs the world, girls? Who runs the world, girls?" Dun, dun,
Okay.
dun, 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 dun. Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it.
I
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Can I
All right.
talk about something real quick too?
Go on ahead, Des.
So like Sir Mix-a-Lot? Like I like big butts and I cannot lie. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Well, he
I
put
don't know
out the new
I don't
song.
know him personally, but
No. But like he put out the new song, the Lockjaw one, right? You guys heard it? Did you hear it?
no. No.
Are you for real?
For
Dead
real.
ass.
Search it up. Yeah, search it up. Sir Mix-a-Lot, Lockjaw. It's like TikTok. Everywhere's on TikTok.
Of course it is.
Yep.
In case you don't know, of course.
I don't know. Like, I don't know why I'm bringing it up. I guess it's because it's like the past, and then it's like people try and make themselves. Yeah, you're giving me the tea.
Yeah. Clocking that
like,
tea, boo. Clocking that tea.
It's kind of
So-
like just trying to make yourself relevant again. Yeah.
Okay, so funny thing that you mentioned that, Sir Mix-a-Lot. I did a search because I am doing some social media for a company called The Buttress. It is a butt-shaped pillow. So you literally like get this big like pillow with a butt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one. I should have it when we go live the next time. I should have my buttress here
Okay.
Okay.
so I can show it to you. But right now, I'm just
What's
gonna.
special about it?
I mean, you put your head on my butt cheeks. Okay. But the reason I'm saying that it's ironic that you said Sir Mix-a-Lot because I was looking up songs that have butt in them or are butt themed, and of course, Baby Got Back is number one, Sir Mix-a-Lot,
Right.
and then there's Fat Bottom Girls,
Mhm.
Give Me That Big Old Butt, Oh Yeah, Miss New Booty, Destiny's
Mhm.
Child Bootylicious, which I actually forgot about.
Hmm.
The Thong Song, the
Dong,
thong, the
da, dong,
thong,
dong,
thong, thong, which is
dong.
from they're from Baltimore. Then there's the Honky Tonk Badonkadonk,
Yeah. I remember that one.
Bonita Applebum.
Yeah, you gotta put me on, Benita Applebaum.
So Miss Fat Booty and My Humps, My Humps, My Humps, My Humps. So yeah,
My lovely
it's
lady
ironic that you
lumps.
mentioned
Check
Sir
it out.
Mix-a-Lot.
I'm sorry. Okay, and one of those that you called out, Kari, was it doing the butt?
Yeah, that was the second
EU?
one.
Yeah.
Or no, the third one.
Okay.
Doing the butt. Or no, it's called Big Old Butt.
Sexy.
But I think that's what it is. It's
Ain't
called
Tell
Big
us
Old Butt.
what your
If
favorite
you
butt
want
song
me.
is in the comments.
Yeah, let us know what your favorite butt song is.
Cheers.
Because there was a
Cheers.
lot more. I just screenshotted the ones that fit into my screenshot scene because I was like, those are the ones that I would like to. So yeah, but it's called Buttress. Buttress. Yeah. Interesting.
That sounds
So,
like butter. Remember the butter? Which is Raising
from
Canaan.
Raising Canaan. Yep.
Butter. Yeah, there you go.
Which I thought was the weird name. So let's go ahead and jump into, I mean, because, it's been a while since we've actually talked about some shows for the entirety of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So we've missed a lot of things. I watched a thing called Three Women. And the reason why I bring it up is because, first of all,
because we are
There-
three women.
Blair I think we did talk about it a little bit. Blair Underwood, we didn't. So Blair Underwood plays a husband who has a wife who has an insatiable appetite for sex because she's so horny. But he
We love you
basically
long
they do
time.
these like yes, give you a long time. They do what's that, pink F's? They do these like threesomes and swinger things, but when you get further into the story, you realize it's not for him, it's for her. She's the one that has these desires that she wants to, fulfill her appetite. And because he loves her so much,
He lets her have it.
he's participating. Right. And they have these certain sets of rules. And the series is or the show is basically there's this one girl who's a writer, and she's the one that played, I think Divergent was the movie that she was in, but she's a writer and she's writing this book, and the book, she comes up with this idea about writing about women and their escapades and there are all these things that they're going through or whatever, and she just can't figure out what to write about herself, so she travels the United States and goes to these 3 different places where she finds these women who have very different, interesting stories, and one of the stories is about a girl in, I think it was Wisconsin, who the teacher she was in high school, and the teacher was having an illicit affair with her, and she took him to court and didn't win. And it wasn't like a win type of, like, situation, but, like, he was not found guilty even though he grossly took advantage of her and the power dynamic, like, it was just really interesting to watch and very sad, you know what I mean? Like, she's
Mhm.
15, and here's this grown-ass man who's married with kids and bringing her to into his house, and, like, when they go to court, he's very much acting like she was the pursuer, and, like, I'm like, "What?" But anyways, so that's one of the stories. So the writer is talking about this young girl who was very much taken advantage of, and then the 3rd story is a housewife who's married to this man and has 2 kids, and he refuses to touch her, and she's literally, like feels like she's stuck in this boring life, and she just wants him to touch her, that's it. She just
Mhm.
wants to get
Feel
some action,
something.
right? And he's just
Right.
like,
Right.
"Nah, I'm good, thanks." And so she links up with this guy she dated in high school, and he literally peels off the layers of that homely housewife and unlocks her, like, inner bad bitch, I guess is what you would call it. Like, she just but then she becomes addicted to it. So it's like each of them, you see their stories and how they go from one thing and transition to something else, and then, it's just an interesting thing, and the reason why I wanted to talk about it or at least bring it up because, first of all, Blair Underwood's, uh his act like, the character that he's playing in this show is very different than what I've seen him in the past. Like, he usually plays, like, these kind of arrogant, controlling,
Right.
like, know-it-all kinda conceited roles, where this one, he's very nurturing, he's very understanding, he's very adamant about the rules, but he's very much like 'cause, the wife, who is absolutely gorgeous, man, I was crushing on her the whole scene I mean, whole show, which I like Blair Underwood too, but, um, her and then to see her, like, being her authentic, like, I'm not a hoe, I'm just sexually, like, enjoying my life, like, it was hot. Well, anyways, what happens is she does these, like, events, she's an event planner, and she meets this guy who is like I don't remember what he did, but he was like a builder or something. We'll just say he was a builder. And she's attracted to him, and he does not have like, here's Blair Underwood, who is fine as fuck, with money.
Mhm.
He's a chef, and he, like,
Mhm.
constantly cooks for her, which is one of the things that I really enjoyed about the show is, like, he was always in the kitchen preparing meals for her, and I was like, "Hello, where do we get one of those?" Are those on Amazon? But
Everything's on
she meets
Amazon.
this guy. Right. Right, because I need one of those. And you know what's funny though, just side note, my partner is an amazing cook. Just getting him to stay in the kitchen for more than 5 minutes is difficult, but I digress. He doesn't like he's always, working, hustling. He's always,
Right.
so anyways, she meets this guy, and this guy is not like, he's just kind of average. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to me that's special to him, but I think that's the intrigue for her. That's the
Okay.
allure, is that he's kind of this like normal, average guy, but she becomes infatuated. Like, she's really infatuated with him, and the husband, like, they're honest about these attractions, right? So she's like, I really want him. And the husband's like, it's a complicated situation, blah, 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 because he works for them, kind of. You know what I mean? He's kind of like doesn't work for them, but like he's a vendor. You know what I mean? Like, if
It
you were doing a wedding and you put someone who came and
yeah.
did like the setup, that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
So it's
So the
one of
husband's
those
like,
you don't eat where you shit, or you don't shit where you eat.
yeah,
Sorry, you don't shit where you eat.
you don't take calls from your clients while you're shitting.
That's a whole
I
new
mean,
one.
yeah,
That's a new
said
one.
what
And that's an inside joke. So sorry about that.
right. Green room. Uh, okay, so anyways, so you see her struggling with this like innate urge to just jump his bones. And he's also trying to be faithful to the girlfriend, and like the girlfriend is her first. Like, it's super complicated. There's nothing cut and dry about this situation. But eventually the husband gives in to her, and he's like, you can do this. Here's the rules.
Okay.
And then she proceeds to do it. And you got to watch the show to find out. But it was very interesting
Okay.
how
What's it
sometimes you
called
can
again?
want something called Three Women. How you can want something so bad, and she wanted it so bad, knowing that the girl could get hurt, knowing her husband might get hurt, but she wanted it so bad. She got it. But what happens next? You got to watch the show to find out.
Um, what's it on? Where do I find it?
I want to say it's on the Hulu, but let me
She
Three
said, I want to
Women.
say it's on the Hulu. Carrie, you know how old that
The
just made me
Hulu.
sound?
And her name is DeWanda Wise. She plays Sloane. I don't know if you know who DeWanda Wise is. So it was on Stars and Prime Video. It says Prime Video too.
Hmm. It's probably Stars on Prime because that's the racket.
Yeah, because I have Star.
All right. So,
Okay.
and she's back.
Okay. Welcome back.
This is the second time I've been given the boot.
It's self-inflicted.
Oh, I did that? I didn't touch
Because
anything.
we were
I'm just sitting
literally,
here, and all of a sudden it said,
you
"Thank
were
you for
talking,
joining."
and then you were gone.
Sorry, crickets. We had crickets.
What have you been watching, Casey, besides cartoons and lo-fi music?
Well, okay, so
And
here's
background
the thing.
noise.
So Carrie will tell you I failed the assignment. I did not watch Raising Canaan, and it's I will true confess it is mainly because I lost my connection to hey girlfriend.
Hey, what's up?
I lost my connection to Stars, and last year when we were watching Ghost or whatever it was me finessing that by Google searching the episodes and watching them on some fugazi websites and whatever.
She pulled the Desiree.
Yeah,
there
I did.
She said it.
I just never said it, but I did. But I just, as I jokingly say every week, I'm out in these streets, right? So I just haven't really stopped to watch anything seriously. So yes, I told the ladies I've been watching adult cartoons. And the ones that I watched most recently were it started off with me watching something called Human Resources. So I'm sure we have fans of South Park watching the show?
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who killed Kenny?
This is like on that level in terms of vulgarity, in terms of inappropriate things coming out of the mouth of children.
Like Brickleberry.
I mean, let's just, you can tell this was done and aired someplace that you can say some of the things that they said, because the word pussy gets said so much, so many times, so often. Like, it just blew my mind.
But you say it here and they're like,
it it was a lot. It was a lot. Like, and the characters. So the characters on human resources. So basically the premise of the human resources uh characters is that they are the hormones that we experience, or they are the emotions that we experience. So, there are there's a character who's played by Rosie Perez, and she's the one who basically hopes and believes that they can do things and succeed. But she's like this little green monster, like literally is a little green monster in a suit and tie. But she's the one that provides encouragement to succeed and do better and be better and all of that. The characters that I enjoyed the most were there were love bugs, and there were these monsters who basically were the sex hormones. They were the ones who encouraged the kids to just be horny all the time. All the time.
Okay.
All the time, all the time, all the time. And because they, as characters, are horny all the time. And they literally have horns. The men have 2 horns. The women have, I think the women might have 2 horns. I don't know. Don't remember exactly. But what's interesting about those particular characters, they are probably the most I don't remember what the appropriate word is, but so in with those characters, those horny monsters, the men get pregnant, carry the baby, and give birth and nurse the baby. They also, yeah,
yeah,
and you learn
where
that
can we move? When can we move to this place?
Then you also learn that their babies are raised to be gender neutral until they pick which side of the coin they want to represent. Because even in deciding whether or not you want to be male or female, you can fuck any and everybody. You can fuck another male, you can fuck a female, you can fuck everything. And it's all acceptable because they are the horny the horny character or whatever. So like their whole life is spent having sex and procreating. And it was, for as outrageous as some of the things in the scenarios were, it was also quite forward thinking in terms of what these characters represented. If you took them from being the monsters and the whatever freaky whatever things that they were and turned them into human beings, they are very forward thinking, very I don't want to say politically correct, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to minimize it, but they represent the spectrum of who we are as people. If you were to look at us in terms of being free and all of that, because even the human characters, you've got kids who are openly gay, still working through, like, they're openly gay at school but closeted at home because they're from a Christian family. And even when their parents find out, the parents don't want the siblings to find out, because the parents are in fear that, knowing that they have a gay sibling, they'll be gay. And so it was really quite interesting that, in between all this comedy is reality. And so what you see is the telling of being a prepubescent child kid, what have you, moving from say
Mhm.
middle school into high school, and how the hormones and body and all of that changes. Like there's one character who constantly masturbates. Doesn't matter where he's at. He masturbated at his grandfather's funeral in front of his dead grandfather. And then got busted.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, he got busted and he wasn't even really sorry that he was busted.
Doing the, yeah.
No.
Wow.
You know, so
Hmm.
it's really quite interesting. I under normal circumstances, I don't think I would have watched it because I've seen it on the screen and I wouldn't have normally watched it, but I did. I did. And it had in this Human Resources is actually a spinoff of another show, but I'm gonna wait before I talk about that and let Kari talk about something else now.
No, Desiree, it's her turn.
Oh, Desiree, yes.
I will. Okay. So I watched, it's called Popeye the Slayer Man instead of the Sailor Man.
Mm.
It's on Prime Video.
Are
So
you
you
sure that
guys
wasn't on
know.
P-Hub?
No, it wasn't on Video.
I was gonna say
'Cause
because
that
I thought we were going somewhere
that
else with that, but okay, thank you.
But
I was
everybody
about to
that I
say.
talked to, that I've said, like, talked about the show, that's what they're like, that's gotta be a porn parody. I'm
Right,
like,
right.
it's not. It's a movie. Look it
I
up.
was about to say, wait a minute. Since
Yeah.
when did we start incorporating adult films into Boob 2? Because this
Look,
is gonna go.
Right?
This is gonna take a whole new
if
direction.
we can do it and not get in trouble with YouTube,
Right.
Maybe. Maybe.
it's
Okay.
what people are watching.
Yeah.
I mean, whew, what's even funnier though are the comments. I mean, do you if you go and you look at like if you watch like some of the stuff that's on TikTok or on Instagram, but even on P-Hub, look at the comments. I'm telling you, there's the comment section on all content is always like comedic. It's hilarious.
Hysterical.
So tell us about Popeye, the
Okay.
Slayer.
Slay in the fight. No, I'm just joking. Okay, so just joking. Okay, so you guys know like the real story about Popeye, right? Like, you know, he
He
eats
eats
the
spinach.
spinach and he
Okay.
yeah, and he gets the muscles and he's like ho ho ho, and then
I'm
Brutus
Popeye.
comes out and all this stuff.
Wait,
Yeah,
he's like what?
ho ho ho. So yeah, and then Brutus and olive oil, right? You guys know the cartoon. You guys, and if you
Yes.
didn't, like, if you've never grown up on the cartoon,
No,
I
no,
recommend
we
you go
know it.
check it out.
We know it.
Okay. So,
Wait a minute. One more
it's
time, Desiree. How does he go?
okay. So it's the same story, okay? He eats the spinach, but in the movie, the spinach is toxic.
Okay.
So it makes him go Looney Tunes and he slays everybody. He's killing everybody in sight. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think so it turns him into a slayer, not a zombie. Because I think I would like that idea
Not a
better
zombie.
if he turned into a zombie from the toxic spinach. Because everything,
Yeah,
it's
not
all
a
about the
zombie.
zombies. It's all about the zombies.
Although I am seeing an idea for a porn parody here where he eats the spinach and makes something else bigger.
Oh.
And
Okay.
he could
Well, that
slay her.
See, and
Yeah.
that's where I thought this was starting to go in the beginning.
Right. That when she said that, that's where I thought this was going. I was like,
But it's
oh,
not.
It's not.
Desiree's
not.
Desiree's perusing the adult film content. Okay.
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 So, you know, like every horror genre movie or whatever, right? They have like the kids who are like curious about this. So there was like a group of kids who were in the town, and then they wanted to figure out like the history behind it because they didn't know the history. That's what it was.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
go to the factory where Popeye is and the toxic spinach. They go there, and then there's this realtor and they want to sell the factory, but they don't know, like, how do I say this? It's been like announced, but they were like trying to sweep it under the rug. Like the place where the factory where he's living, because he's there living, that's his home, right? Okay. And he hasn't been out. He had, like, everybody he sees, he kills. You know what I mean? So it's not like. So, anyways, I don't want to tell you guys like everything because I want you guys to watch it. It's not a bad movie. Like, it's, if you like Scream, or if you're gonna sit through like movies like that, you'll be able to sit through this.
Okay.
And it's on Prime Video.
Just don't do it while you're eating spinach.
Yeah, no toxic spinach.
I can't. I just Prime. You said, right? Because
yeah.
Here's my challenge with Prime. So as we all know, Netflix spits out new stuff on a regular. Like, there's always something. So much of what you see on Netflix will say it's a Netflix production.
Right.
Prime, on the other hand, they have this philosophy that they want to do quality over quantity. Only problem is the quality of their stuff sucks. It sucks.
Or wait, okay, or if you have Apple TV, that might work too. It says. Do you have that one?
I have.
It says
TV.
Prime Video.
I have Apple
but it
TV.
says Apple TV.
I got Prime. I've got access to Prime. I'm just making the statement when talking about the quality of the movie potentially.
They should go back to the quantity.
Yeah, they should go to quantity.
Let me decide what quality is.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got a much better chance of something being good if you can throw more stuff out there.
It's like they couldn't afford to get the B-roll movies, so they ended up with like the D, E, and F, and like everything in the rest. The rest of the alphabet. Yeah,
exactly. Because I'll be honest with you, I find myself watching stuff. Like, I'll watch the stuff I really, 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 really want to watch on Netflix, and then after I've gone through all the stuff I really want to watch, when I actually do sit and watch stuff, then I start watching random shit, and I have watched some really good random stuff. Really good.
Speaking of random, I did the same thing. And we're gonna save Raising Kanan until someone does their homework.
Okay.
Oh, no. See?
Well, we're not
pressure.
Not next week. Next week we're not doing a show.
So in other words, what Kari is saying is
2 weeks.
I've got 2 weeks to get it together. I got you.
You got time.
I got you.
I mean, you've had time, but you've got time.
I'm gonna figure it out. But go ahead, Kari. What you
got? I came across a movie called, and I think it's fairly new, and it's called Long Bright River.
Okay.
And there was a movie called Safe Harbor with Josh Dashimal or whatever, and the girl that played in that blonde girl, she plays the main character. And essentially what happens is she's a police officer in Philly, and there's a serial killer out there targeting sex workers, streetwalkers. And she's on the hunt to find out who this person is. And she suspects at first it's her ex-husband, which is her kid's dad. And it's this like super, like, it starts out what seems to be a simple, just trying to find out who the serial killer is. And at sometimes she suspects her old partner, which at that point they were what?
Why does she suspect it's her partner, her ex-husband, her baby daddy, whatever? Why? I'm curious. See?
Because there were certain. So while she's going through trying to find who the killer is, the ex-husband, she's remembering that her ex-husband would go out late at night, and she finds out that he was getting it on with sex workers. So she starts to suspect that maybe while he was, doing these things, that he thought that somebody would find out. And so he started, and then he also was um aggressive and was domestic violence with her.
Oh, okay.
And so he has all the check mark, you know,
Mm-hmm.
domestic violence, controlling, going out and doing things and hiding it, the whole thing. So all of these things she's doing the check marks. Um, and then she starts like it gets to a point where she just starts suspecting like other people. And it turns out, well, I don't want to tell you who it turns out to be, but
But nope, don't do that.
in the midst
Mm.
of going through all of this, you find out more about her character and her secrets. And, you know, then you find out who the actual killer is. And, it then explains a lot of things about why she suspected the ex-husband, why she suspected the partner, why she suspected this person and that person. And yeah, it's
What's
very
it called again?
interesting. It's called Long Bright River.
And what's it on?
I believe it was on the Hulu, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. 'Cause I'm doing like you, Casey. I'm all over the place. I finished watching something and it says Amazon. Oh no, that's the novel. No, it's on Peacock.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
subscribe to so many channels that I couldn't tell you what I watched it on because I
So I
finished
know
one thing and
people who subscribe to.
yeah,
I
there
just
you
can't get
go.
the stars.
I'll let you have access to mine. Shit, I don't care. And stars because we need to get you caught
I need to
up.
get caught up. I need to get caught up. Yeah.
But it's
So
a good movie. It's a good. I like that they didn't make it all about like just catching the killer. I mean, obviously that was important, but there's a lot of other fun things happening as well. So, what else you got for us, Casey?
all right. Um I mentioned that Human Resources is a spinoff of another show. So
Mm-hmm.
the show that Human Resources is a spinoff of is called Big Mouth. Um
Oh,
and again, Netflix. And again, it is foul mouthed adolescents who are constantly horny, constantly whatever. And the funny thing about these shows is they are they're also somewhat of a musical because there is a musical. There's like a moment where they launch into singing and dancing on almost every fucking episode. Almost every episode. It is crazy. And the songs are so nonsensical. It is hysterical. Like the things they make a song about, you're sitting there going, "Wait, what did they just say? Are they
Okay.
singing about penises? Are they singing about boobs?" Like it'll have you questioning your
Huh?
hearing
Okay.
because of the stuff that they sing about. But again, it is, if you are a fan of South Park and you haven't seen Big Mouth or Human Resources, it is an absolute must that you watch these shows. There's, I think, two, maybe three seasons of Human Resources. There's like 7 seasons of Big Mouth. Once I started watching, I honestly could not. I couldn't stop. Like it was the thing I was watching every evening. Saturday and Sunday, I absolutely totally chilled, and it is what I watched all weekend, literally all weekend. Between Big Mouth and Human Resources, I was thoroughly entertained. And again, the characters, like the in Big Mouth, it's about the kids and the little monsters or whatever, the hormones or whatever. They're a part of it, a big part of it as well. But Human Resources is more specifically about the emotions and the hormones and the whatnot. And it's funny because it really did like make me a little nostalgic because it had me sitting there remembering myself in middle school remembering myself in high school and college, and um, when they talk about the girls as they develop, going from middle school to high school, I
Mhm.
remember, we laugh and joke about me having big boobs, and if you ever see me at Exotica, you can't really see here, but anyway, um
You can't pull them
anyway,
out and show
I
them.
can't. No, I can't. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is I I had to learn at a very early age to be comfortable with my boobs. And my boobs weren't always this big. I had kids, nursed my kids. The boobs sort of stayed. But in fourth grade, fourth grade, Ms. Brown's homeroom, and this is how traumatic this was because I can tell you everything. Fourth grade, Ms. Brown's homeroom. I was sitting in the second row, in the middle of the second row. Sitting behind me was this boy by the name of Vinny Torres. I had a crush on Vinny Torres until
Mm.
he one day leaned over his desk because he sat right behind me and whispered into my ear, "Hey, Rocky Mountains," referring to my boobs.
Your bazingas.
Yes.
Damn, bro.
And his whole point was that my boobs were really, really big. It's the
No
fourth
shit,
fucking
Sherlock.
grade. They weren't that
Right.
big. But I guess because it was the fourth grade, they were really big.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But it stuck with me. I'm not gonna say I was traumatized by it, but I was definitely annoyed as fuck. It was just
Mm-hmm.
not, it
That's
wasn't cool.
inappropriate. Yeah.
And Vinny was no longer that cute after that. Like
Yeah.
Vinny was a no. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm.
I
But
had a
it
similar
stuck with me,
experience.
and it watching Big Mouth took me back to those days of when you're developing. When I remember, like, they
Mm-hmm.
did an episode where one of the girls got her period for the first time, and she's got this. She's a interracial girl whose mom is white and her dad is black, and her mom is like, there's the only way I can really describe it is her mom was like a tree hugger and they're vegan and just whatever, and so she didn't want to make a big deal about having gotten her period at school, and she throws her underwear in the trash under a whole bunch of stuff so that nobody would see it, and then her mom comes
Aw.
in the room with the underwear and she's like, "Oh my god, how did you find my underwear?" And the mom was like, "Oh, this is such a special moment. You're a woman." And I'm sitting there remembering, thinking to myself, I remember when I first got my period. And I'm like, it was, mom is trying to make you feel good about having your first period, and the fact that you can now have kids and all of this stuff. And I'm thinking, none of
That's the
that
last
is
thing.
exciting to me
Yeah.
right now. I swear to you,
Right.
I am not excited about this. And it's going to happen
Exactly.
every month. Oh my God. So, yeah, lots of memories watching that. Like, and again, there's an episode where the boys are staring at this girl's tits. Like, the middle school boys get taken to the high school and they see the high school girls who've got like boobs, and because all the middle school girls have these little whatever. And so they see these high school girls with these big round boobs, and they're telling themselves not to stare, and
Okay.
yet they can't keep from staring at the boobs.
Mm.
And again, and it's funny because I'm sitting here thinking about it. I didn't really, really think about it that hard when I was watching the show, but as I'm talking to you all now, I can clearly remember sitting there watching, thinking, just remembering all of my childhood experiences and all of the various things that I went through
Oh.
with the period, with the boobs, with the butt, with the, everything. It was like no matter what I did, whether I wore a sweater that was up to here or whether I was in a cheerleading skirt, some little freaky ass boy was like 2 seconds off of being hard over it. And I think what irritated me the most is that I'm being held liable that they can't control themselves. And I'm like,
Oh my
Yeah,
God, yes.
that's BS. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, sorry.
So
Didn't mean to
just to
go down
kind
that
of,
rabbit hole.
you are not alone. And not to turn this into a, how we were traumatized, but to just kind of like, I didn't even have that big of boobs, but in the 6th grade, I had maybe C cups, maybe small D's. And the boys used to take my bra and pull it back and like constantly fuck with me all the time. And I got in so much trouble. I almost failed the 6th grade because I was terrified to go to school. And that's when I transitioned from like just being a normal elementary school kid into constantly fighting, because before I was bullied, I was constantly sexually harassed by the boys because I was a little bit more developed than the other girls in my class or in my grade.
Right.
And so it wasn't like debilitating traumatic. Not
But
that
it's
there's
still,
like stages, but
yeah.
I just remember like and being in trouble when it wasn't my fault. I wasn't asking for the attention. I would run from it. Like there were times we would be in gym class and I would be like, I'm just going to sit this one out. And the things that they made us wear for gym, I felt were inappropriate and made me uncomfortable because I did have a butt and I had these titties that in a tank top didn't stay put when I'm running, didn't stay put when I'm doing, these physical activities. And so that was one of the reasons that I refused to participate in PE, because everything was always sexual. And like one time I was running and one of the boys literally ran backwards so he could watch my titties bounce while I was running. And I was just like, you got to be kidding me. And then when he gets in trouble, it becomes somehow my fault that this happened. So, you know, if you're out there and you too have experienced, and if you're a boy, well, if you're a man and you know that you did some shit like that when you were younger, like, teach your kids to be better and
better about that. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, like,
listen, the hormones rage. We get it. Girls have raging hormones too. We just don't display it the way y'all do. But we do.
Right.
We do. So that's understandable. It is what it is. It happens. We get that. But
yeah, I'm good.
we've gotta teach our children to respect people.
Yes, consent.
Consent.
Like we talk about at Exotica all the
All the
time.
time. Consent.
Consent.
Consent
Don't
is
just come up to
sexy.
me just because my titties is looking good and hanging out and in a corset, and you might be able to see my areolas, even though I'm trying to cover them up. Doesn't mean it's okay to come up and be
I'm
like,
not gonna get myself in trouble. Yeah, that.
Bazinga.
tune in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Wait, here's what's crazy. I have probably more women who do this at me than men. I think the men don't do it, well, mainly because Lorenzo's always right there.
Lorenzo?
Yeah. He's always right there.
Same.
But
Not Lorenzo, but I got my own Lorenzo.
Right. But the women, like the women you'll see their eyes zoom straight in, and I've had women who literally were like holding their hands out, and I'm like shaking my head no, and they're like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking, just because we're both the same,
you're a woman,
doesn't mean
right.
you can squeeze on my tits. No.
We need to get you a shirt that says "Ask before you touch."
We need to get me a shirt that says no.
But they're not going to know why you're saying no. We have to put on the
right
shirt
here.
what
Right.
we're going to put. Do not touch the girls.
Okay, wait, hold on. As speaking of, see the T-shirt. See, please do not grope, lick, fondle, or The exhibits. That's me. I'm the exhibit.
Well, I mean, this is a whole topic in itself, so we
It
won't
is.
we won't deep dive. But
Look, we've
for
already
those
gone
of
too
you,
far.
Consent.
right?
We'll just
For
leave it
those
at
of
the
you that don't,
consent.
right? For those of you that don't realize, just because people are at these adult expos, it doesn't mean that there is free carte blanche to just go in and
touch.
smack a booty or touch a titty or, any of that. So, with that being said,
it's that time.
You know what time it is?
It's that time.
Yep.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
All right, Kari, do you want me to go to your thingamajiggity?
Yeah, boy. So we are just a week and some change away from Chicago Exotica, and we are doing the Curvy BBW fashion show on Saturday at 5:45 p.m. Central Time, because if you're in Chicago, that's the time zone. So if you're at Chicago Exotica or you're in the Chicago area, we would love for you to come check us out, support us. iHeartBBW.com is supporting, and we have fresh new faces, a lot of women who have never been to Exotica, that are not adult entertainers and have never been on the stage before. So this is super exciting and a wonderful opportunity for them to feel the vibe. It's so awesome. So make sure you check out the Curvy BBW Fashion Show Saturday, April 12th, 2025 at 5 Exotica Chicago. And of course, make sure you keep it locked and loaded right here on Exotica.tv, whether you're watching us on Twitter or YouTube every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for next week. I don't know. The week afterwards, we'll just have to play it by ear. But make sure you check out our social media as well as the social media for Exotica to see when we will be on next. But typically Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your wonderful host, Kari Anthony and
Casey Carter.
Hello?
Casey Carter.
And Desiree? Yep.
And Desiree! Yay! That was great. That was great. So as you know, April 11th to the 13th in Chicago, Illinois is the first Exotica Expo of 2025. June 27th to the 29th in beautiful Miami, Florida. October 24th to the 26th in Edison, New Jersey, and December 5th to the 7th in my backyard, Washington, D.C. Make sure you get your tickets and any vendor information or all the information, the schedule for the stage, the seminars, all of that at exoticaexpo.com. That's EXXXOTICA expo.com. And don't forget, Ladies Free Friday. Sign up to get your free tickets. Every show, Ladies Free Friday. Come and enjoy. Bring your girls. Make it a ladies' night. It's going to be boom. This April 12th, same day as the Curvy BBW Fashion Show, is the Fannies, Exotica's Fan Choice Awards for 2025, brought to you by Chatterbait. Can I announce it, Casey? Can I announce it? Hello? Casey? Hello?
Yes, I'm sorry, my mic was muted. Yes, girl, hey girl, tell them. Let the people know.
Okay. So Casey and I, this was Casey's idea, got to give her credit. We, Boob Tube, are going to be on the pink carpet interviewing the wonderful talent that'll be entering into the award show. So check out Boob Tube on the pink carpet as the Fannies are beginning the show, hosted by Maitland Ward and Usama Sadiq. So come check us out on the pink carpet. Yay!
Woo-woo!
And last but certainly not least,
our pink
you can
box.
follow us on social media in our pink boxes. What was that, Casey? Don't follow us on our social media?
No, I said sorry, not sorry.
Oh, sorry, not sorry. Also, you can join our broadcast channel on Instagram. If you are on Instagram, it's at queenofbbw.com/boobtube. And you can join our channel where I share. Oh, real quick before we go. R.I.P. Val Kilmer.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Rip.
I put it on my story with the sound from the audio from Top Gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the day before that, Richard Chamberlain passed away.
Now he's old as dirt. He's old as dirt.
Yes, he lived a long, full, amazing life, but he was a really good friend of my client, so it was kind of a oh.
Your client who's also old as dirt?
Don't take calls on the shitter, y'all.
From your clients who are old as dirt.
From Casey.
What?
That wasn't nice.
I said it twice. Anyway.
But anyways, yeah, moment of silence for Val Kilmer and Richard Chamberlain, who we lost this week, both Hollywood legends. Val Kilmer, I will never forget him from the infamous volleyball scene in Top Gun. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. We always enjoy having you here, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Back to you, Casey.
Peace out, y'all.